Hey guys, it's Cameron here, aka the Currency Kid. A lot of people, when they first hear about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, blockchain, the first thing they need to understand is what exactly is a blockchain. So I made a short little presentation here. I'm gonna try to be, I'm gonna try not to get too technical here. I'm gonna keep it pretty visual and hopefully get the point across in a good and visual way. So the first thing I think about when I think of a blockchain is a blockchain is a distributed digital ledger, a ledger that keeps track of who has what, who sent what to who. Once person A sent $100 to person B, it tracks that person A doesn't have that $100 anymore, and now person B has that $100, and then that transaction is broadcasted on the network, um, and distributed amongst multiple people on a peer-to-peer network digitally. Here's an example. We talk about a peer-to-peer network. A blockchain may have thousands of computers or nodes that are simultaneously keeping a copy and keeping record of the ledger as it updates and as transactions come out of the network and get verified. Being a distributed digital ledger, there's no central point of authority. There's no one computer that can go back and change the history of the blockchain, change what happened, go back, edit the history. The ledger and the blockchain is immutable. Once the transactions are verified and on the blockchain, they are immutable, and they are distributed throughout these thousands of computers that at all times, when they're active, have a copy of the blockchain and everything that's happened in the history of that blockchain. What these computers are doing, they may be miners or nodes. When transactions come onto the network, they compete to solve mathematical problems, or they randomly get to choose who gets to solve or who gets to verify the transactions coming on the network. And once those transactions are verified by that computer gets a reward in that cryptocurrency. The transactions are posted on the blockchain, and then every single one of these computers is updated with the new state of that blockchain, and it's immutable. No one computer has an authority over the other computer. All of them on the network have a distributed copy, um, and all equal rights to view it and not make any changes. Important thing to understand is what a block is. So a block is basically a batch of transactions. It shows a transaction ID, what address the transactions were sent from, to who, what amount, and any other information such as that. And we go back, once again, these miners or nodes are all competing to solve the block, and the one that gets to solve the block gets to put it on the blockchain and get a fee for doing so. So as transactions come out of the network, these computers are competing to solve the block, and some of them get to solve the block or batch of transactions. So there we have a block. You understand what a block is. Batch of transactions that have been verified by the nodes or miners. And once that happens, they get added onto the new blocks that were verified by the miners and nodes before that and already stored on the blockchain. So you could date back transactions or blocks being added on top of each other, and these are all just batches of transactions. Maybe these ones are blocks that happen 10 minutes. These are the 10 minutes before, these are the 10 minutes before, these are the 10 minutes before, and so on back to the original block. So a blockchain is simply just a chain of these blocks. So going back to blocks, a batch of transactions. They also have timestamps, by the way. And these blocks are added onto each other so you can look back throughout the entire history of every transaction that's taken place. Once again, it's immutable going back, looking at those. Every transaction's been verified by the entire network and those miners or nodes. and every miner node has a copy of everything that happened as well. So that the term blockchain is simply just a chain of blocks. Pretty simple. Okay, so I kind of explained it already, but I'll just summarize it up again. We'll start from here. This is exactly really how it works. So here's transactions, and they're coming into the network. So as transactions come onto the network, all these computers or nodes are trying to validate the blocks. In return, the ones that do get a reward. Once the blocks, or once the transactions coming into the network have been verified, um, they go into a batch of transactions called the blocks, and then those blocks get added on to the blockchain that's already on the network there. And just to give you guys a visual here, once that happens, every computer across the network has a new and updated copy of the blockchain. So everyone has access to the same blockchain, everyone can see the same history. Computer B doesn't have a different ledger than computer computer 1 doesn't have a different copy of the ledger as computer 99, and etc. So kind of wrapping up, what are the benefits of a blockchain? There's many benefits of a blockchain, and a lot of them are still being figured out to this day. It's a pretty new space, and people are coming up with ideas every day on how it could be implemented and used better. Just a couple though. You have peer-to-peer global transactions. Um, if I'm in California and I want to send someone money in Venezuela, I don't have to use a bank. I don't have to send that money through a central authority. I don't have to move it physically across borders. I can make a transaction to someone anywhere in the world that has internet within a half an hour globally. Transparency, you can do things, you can store value, you can send value with all transparency. Nothing's hidden on a public blockchain. Everything's immutable, and it's in plain sight by all those nodes and miners having a copy of everything that happens. And anyone that downloads the blockchain can go back and see those as well. No central authority. It's a peer-to-peer distributed network. You don't have to worry about anyone confiscating your money. You don't have to worry about anyone kicking you off the network. There is no central authority, so everyone really has the same rights, and there's no single point of failure. Supply chain management. Companies could be a lot more organized in the future by having everything on a digital ledger like this that's immutable. You can keep better track of data. You can be more secure with data. Yeah, guys, I hope that really got the point across on what a blockchain is. And still very new in the space, so we'll see the many different ways that projects are adding on to the existing blockchain technology. Thanks for watching.